What up, everybody? So it's Pair Bomb, but on a Benbenakki's account. As you can see here, he's in Versatile Elite 2. He's leading the troop with trophies. Yeah, some people way down at the bottom. Got Mild Fire Team and one Super, Event Super. So they could definitely use a little bit more help, but let's see how they're ranked after the last round. They're still in Super Tier at rank 247, which is pretty sweet. Let's see where my team's ranked. Oh, wow. My team jumped up to second. I believe that's the second time that my troop has landed into second place during this event. And there's no beating surprise. They beat everybody. They just spam like crazy with epic teams the entire round. So we're just going to drop probably back down to like 13th or 14th, but hopefully we can jump to second in the very last round. After the very last round, anyways. But, yeah, as you can see, this is his team. He's got 5 Ultras for his Dominion team. This is his PvP team, just some 4 level 1 specials and a Sacrifice Bulwark mob. This is his Crystal Siege Leaf team. And this is his main water team. It looks a little bit similar to my water team. Because I got a swap, I got an E-swap. I have a crush. I got the Last Rate Rogue, which is basically the same exact one I got. But I think on my passives maybe a couple higher. And he also has Spin Epic, but it's a Snipe Gladiator. I don't have one of those. I still don't have any evolved epics that aren't Dominion on my team, in my account at all. But anyways, we got him here. And we're going to ask a few questions. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to attempt to do some of his daily missions. So, Ben? I got Ben on the phone here also. Say hello.
How's it going, guys?
Alright, so going into the first question. How long have you been playing? And what got you into the game?
Well, I've been playing a little over 2.5 years. It's getting close to 3, and the reason I started playing was I needed something to fill time at work because I was actually only working like maybe 30-minute intervals every 15, 20 minutes. And so I had like a little bit of downtime where I needed to fill that up with something to do. And I started searching around, and Battle Camp was one of the games that popped up. I gave it a try, and I immediately got addicted to the progression and how fast the game moved, and it just kind of caught me by storm. And next thing you know, I'm looking back going, was it a year ago I started playing? Holy cow! Or wait, now it's 2 years, and I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I've been playing a really long time. So I'd say since Steampunk Willie and about 2 years ago, 2.5, I think. I didn't look up rank to be sure, but something like that.
Yeah, I think I started maybe a few months before you. Alright, what else have we got here?
About that one, they're asking about the 5 event mobs or what snipe.
Oh yeah, would you prefer to use 5 snipes for an event mob like Dominion or Crystal Siege, or 4 snipes and a swap or an E-swap?
Okay, and this is a great question. So the answer to this is 5 event monsters with snipe, because the best strategy that we know of, based on comparing teams and snipes and player level, is that snipes are doing much more damage than the average combo that you're able to get off. And then you have like timers of moves or animations, which obviously vary between Android and iOS, which is a known thing. And because of the timers, the most efficient and most damage effective way is to just hit with snipes. There are people who have had like really large hits with swaps, but I mean, we can hit really large hits with any teams if we get the right combos, you know. But ultimately, your best bet is to just hit with 5 snipes on any of those events.
Yeah. Like, I've seen videos of Ali Ali. Somebody, I think it was Bushhog showcasing Ali Ali's account, which has no event mobs on Dominion, and he was just getting as many snipes as possible. I think he was using an iPhone, so he wasn't able to get the fifth snipe in at the very end. He was like a turn away from it, and it was just doing massive damage. And then I think he also tried it with a swap, but I don't think it did as much damage as it did with just the 5 snipes. And that was with her all second evolved legendary team with like 2 million power rating.
I think they were R boosted max 99 each too, right?
Yeah, I think at the time they might have been, if not close to it.
Crazy. That's another good question. That was a good one.
Here's the one that I found interesting, and the way I would answer it is: how did you find Battle Camp, and if you could do anything with the game, what would it be?
Oh man. So if I could do anything with this game, and I found this game kind of answered that in the first question, similar answer. But if I could do anything with this game, I would change the community's viewpoint on helping each other, because truly this is a video game and it's supposed to be enjoyed with other people. And I think Battle Camp is viewed as more of a climbing the ladder solo than it is viewed as, you know, climbing that ladder as a team. And you know, I think something that inspired me about Virtual Elite is the troop was really willing to help with a lot of things. You know, higher end players giving away mobs that are harder for you to achieve, kind of thing, but helping each other out. That's what I'd like to bring to this game, and that's my ultimate goal with YouTube, is to help other players progress and learn the growing pains of this game. Because I think you and I could both agree that there are several things that you'll feel like later. Hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have known this, or I wish I would have known that, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the way I found this game was just like how this game has Tapjoy. I was playing another game. Looking back, it was a pretty stupid game called Pocket Mine, and I was trying to earn free stuff in that game. And it made me download this game and play it to like level 5 or something, and then I'd earn something free in Pocket Mine. Then after playing till like reaching level 5 in this game, I was like, man, this game's a lot better than Pocket Mine. So I stopped playing Pocket Mine completely and just started focusing on playing Battle Camp because I enjoyed it a lot more.
Kind of ironic. The company that gave you free in-game currency, you no longer play because you got bribed to go to the other game. It's kind of funny, actually.
And I've spent a lot of money on this game. And I'd never spent... I think I might have spent like $5 on Pocket Mine to block all ads or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I guess that's a bit of a kudos to Penny Pop for the game that they created compared to the creators of Pocket Mine. I mean, Pocket Mine did try and do a bunch of updates to keep people playing it, but it was such a basic, just dig down, keep digging kind of game. Didn't have that big of an objective or like a player community like Battle Camp has.
Right.
Like playing as a troop of 25 players and stuff and communicating and everything and helping each other grow in the game and get higher power rating and everything is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I can agree with that completely. Oh, do you ever get bored of Battle Camp? Is it repetitive? The answer to that is yes. I absolutely get bored of Battle Camp, but I never get bored enough to where I stop playing.
Yeah.
What motivates me to keep playing is the troop community. I mean, there's the troop versus elite that we're in. I can't tell you enough. It's probably the best troop I've ever been in. Having a sub troop for people like me who are trying to save, and I don't necessarily want to be at the forefront of every battle, ready to drop $500 on an event, and I can hop into that main troop where people are ready to do that at any time. It's amazing, the setup, and that's what keeps from ever quitting. Because if I quit playing Battle Camp, then I'm leaving a whole friends and family kind of behind that I've developed over the years. So that would be a really hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm. If you could, where are we here? Let's get another good one. Why did you start to make videos?
Oh man, best question of the night, actually. So the reason I started to make videos was because Parabob, actually, because of you, because I know we were in the troop together, and I watched your videos, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm watching the videos of this guy who's in my troop. This is amazing. And I messaged you, and I said, is it hard to do? And basically, you're like, nah, dude, it's not really hard. Just get a screen recording app and try it. And you kind of, gave me the courage to give it a go. And, probably one of the scariest things I've ever done is you're putting yourself out to the public saying, hey, this is what I think I know. I'm going to try to do this. And the reaction so far has been nothing but positive. So, yeah, I mean, the answer is basically because of your channel. That's why I started doing it.
My reason was a little bit different. I've had a YouTube I've had an account on YouTube since probably 2005, 2006, shortly after YouTube was even created. But for numerous years, I never uploaded a thing. I just was constantly daily watching hours and hours of YouTube videos. I myself I'm subscribed to like 60, 70 different channels, and I haven't had cable since like 2007 or something like that. I haven't had cable in the past like 8 or 9 years or whatever. So YouTube has been like my cable and like my DVR box.
Yeah.
So then I also started making Battle Cam YouTube videos simply because I felt like I was spending a lot of money doing spins for Dominion mobs, and I thought it'd be interesting for other people to see what kind of drop rates there are and how much gold do you got to spend to get some good epics and stuff. And maybe somehow I could get some YouTube revenue back to make up for all the money I spent on the gold packs to do the spin videos.
Yeah, and I think that's the ultimate goal with YouTube is, you have a game, you have a niche, a thing, and you feel like you're somewhat above average in a way that you can guide other people who are new in the game, and by doing so, these views, eventually, I know me and you were talking about popping up advertising or something to where we can generate some type of income on these channels to where we can do spin giveaway, gold pack giveaways, and all kinds of fun stuff like that where, hey, how fun it would be to enter for a drawing for $100 worth of gold giveaway because, we have that, and that's the goal with these channels. I think ultimately is to be able to use that income down the road if we ever get that far and give that money back to the community,
Mm-hmm. All right. Get a couple more questions in here. How much money did you spend on the game so far?
I am roughly around the $300 to $400 range. I'm still not sure where on that spectrum I am. But I'll tell you, in the very beginning of the game, I did get somewhat lucky. I was in a troop with a guy who gifted us some gift cards for Dominion. Actually, they decided it was a new troop, and one of the guys in the troop was somewhat wealthy and actually bought everybody for Christmas a $100 gift card for either iOS or Android, whatever you had. And I used that to do my first Dominion spins and first event spins I've ever done. I didn't get anything good. I got a bunch of like T2 and T4 supers, but through that I traded and eventually I got my super team that I joined Virtual Elite for the first time. And I don't know if you remember this, but I left Virtual Elite on my own free will because my Dominion team I felt was subpar to the teams, and I wanted to get strong and come back later, and then I actually did, which was, I don't remember, 6 months, a year ago I came back. I can't remember. But it's kind of a funny little side story.
And I did a giveaway a little ways back on people guessing how much money I spent on the game. And since then, I've spent, I think, another $20 when I did a pretty sweet special deal. I think I showed what I got out of it was the 180 Ultra Essence, which I basically crafted 2 epic eggs. I think I got some, obviously, gold and some energy. I was supposed to get 2 Ultra Treats with it, but those never showed up in my inventory or anywhere, so I never got the Ultra Treats. I should have sent the ticket to try and get the Ultra Treats for the Arbus, but I just cut it as a loss, no big deal.
Yeah.
So I've spent about $800 on the game.
And for what you have, to be fair, that's incredibly cheap. Because most players that I see that talk about spending gold or that I've contacted and asked questions about it, you know, I know players that spend $1,000 on a single event, man, just in gold packs. So, I mean, good conversation. Let's drop some dialogue around that.
Oh, jeez, I can't imagine how much money the big players have spent on this game. Like, I've seen some screenshots on Facebook of people with, like, 15,000 gold.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
And how much is that again? That's like what? I mean...
It's basically the equivalent of, like, $1,300 or $1,400. $1,400.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dropping, like, $2,000 on a virtual game? That's just nuts.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, I think it's a little. It's like a to each their own kind of thing. It's like I can spend like $1,000 and go on a fishing trip, and like maybe catch some fish and eat that and enjoy that, and it's worth it. You know, if I get maybe a bunch of fish out of it. And I think with video games, the psychology behind it is there's people they call whales. There's people they call these names, and what it is they have the money. They put it game and they expand, and to them they want to be that big kingpin that shows everybody, or that maybe can either help everybody or the person that can crush everybody. There's some hidden motive behind that, and if you have the money to do it, people they don't have self-control sometimes.
Yep, it's what keeps the competitive nature going. There's always somebody in the world that wants to be number one, and they will do anything to get to that spot. Alright, here's a question. How long do you think it would take for you to play the battle camp in order to reach a 1 million power rating?
That's a great question. From where I stand right now, save 2,000 energy probably about 3 to 4 times. And then with that, I'd be able to farm 1 Sivo epic for each one, and if I could Sivo them all, I think I could get close to 1 million if I are boosted, which would take me probably about another year and a half worth of grinding, which is crazy actually when you think about it.
Yeah, I'm personally, I don't know, like it might take another year or two between like keep saving up energy on my alternate accounts for big epic runs in order to get more reward epics that I could someday evolve, then start R boosting, unless I, for whatever reason, hit the lotto and decided to dump $1,000 or something into the game and get a legendary tier in Dominion or something. If that was even possible.
Well, and it's funny too, because like you think about it, and like this game, I mean, it's like you can spend a little bit of money and like collect, you can get lucky and you get some monsters, but ultimately, like it reminds me of like collecting Pokemon cards. I mean, there's some people I remember when I was a kid collecting Pokemon cards. some kids had like binders full of stuff, and it's because mommy and daddy bought them. And there's people. I didn't have a bunch. I maybe bought a couple packs of cards, but it was my collection. And so the reason I say that is the analogy is it doesn't really matter where you are in the game, whether you have 100,000 power rating, whether you have 10,000 power rating, or a million power rating. It's important to have goals and to set time frames and stuff like that, which is why I like that question, because it does set a time frame. And I think one of the ways you progress in this game, even at a better rate, is when you have game plans or you have a process or you know what you're going to be farming and why. And that's one of those things that me and you have talked about several times on the side. I'll say, hey, Perry Bob, I'm going to set this event out because X, Y, Z. And there are times top players are going to sit out events or go hard in events, and it's because of energy conservation, money conservation, or maybe you have the right event coming up and you have a full team for that and you've been saving all this energy for it. There's a lot of reasons people do it, but just know whether you're at 100,000 power rating or 100 million, eventually, I'm sure the game will get crazy and progress. It doesn't really matter because it's where you're at in your game right now. Everybody's got their own save point. Everybody's got their own collection. And the cool part is we have the ability to trade monsters amongst ourselves and give them away too.
All right, next question. Do you find Battle Camp ever interfering with your real life?
Yes, I do, actually. It interferes with my life pretty much every single day because I'm constantly trying to improve the YouTube channel, improve my own team, try to help the troop mates. So throughout the day, I think it's like quick little bursts of just glancing at my phone and making sure, like, if I need to respond to something, I do. And so it's kind of like running a small business in a way out of your phone. It feels like sometimes, but where it impacts me the most is probably my days off, because when I have it available and I want to play and I should be doing other things, it can definitely get to be a time-consuming thing, and sometimes I lose some of my day. So
yeah, I've definitely known what that's like. Like, I've, on a daily basis, like, kind of portioned out time throughout my day where I can sneak in a little attack during an event or something, or if I'm at work and it's about to be the start of another Dominion round, I'll run and hide in the bathroom or something just so I can try and get the first attack in for the troop so we can secure towers real fast and everything. Stuff like that. And it's become like a daily part of my brain to do stuff in Battle Camp. Like, it kind of runs me. It's kind of sickening.
I know exactly
when
what
you think
mean.
about it.
The thing that's funny is, and you said that we were talking about it in between doing videos, is what things do you do in the game? Well, one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to dig crystals. So like your morning routine, maybe like you wake up, you do your thing, whatever, and you got maybe like 15 minutes before you're gonna leave to go to work, and you run around the game, you check this, you pet the pet, you feed the monster, you do all these things, and it truly is weird because, like you said, it becomes part of your daily routine.
Yep. And speaking of which, I'm gonna set one of your monsters on a mission.
Send one.
It's kind of like a pet peeve.
Just don't send one of my Dominion mobs.
I just sent, I think it's your newest super reward feeder.
Sounds good.
Good
Well,
little fuzz
bat.
bat.
Prank ever, dude. If you sent one of my Dominion Ultras on a thing.
I mainly do these because you can, while you dig, you can get the gems or whatever, and craft the gems to get them to better gems, and then eventually equip those onto your equipment, and you also earn XP for your troop.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm with you on that. XP for the troop is probably the reason I should do it, for just that reason alone. But I'll say, with the equipments, I learned, I would say probably when I was starting to get into Dominion right off the bat, that the equipments for that type of my benefit career wasn't as important as keeping my stone for evolutions, because after you hit so much, you got to keep repairing them and repairing them. You got 2 or 3 teams are doing that. Those repair bills can be expensive. So I actually have a lot of materials I can send monsters on missions all day. I just haven't done it. But again, with me, I don't actually use many of my equipments at the moment because I'm still saving stones. So
Gotcha. Yeah, stones is always a necessary in the game. Before, I was constantly in the need of stones to do anything I wanted to do. Like, constantly never having enough stones to do a second evolve or make a bunch of attempts to get my Zodiac level up, because that's highly expensive.
it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, when it fails constantly and constantly and constantly.
You have a 15% chance.
Yeah. And as you can see
We have one
here,
answered question to answer in here that I think we looked over that I said I needed to hit. Let me look.
but as you can see here, I have the most troop XP in Versatile Elite. I've been in the troop forever. I've done so many missions, pretty much every single day for the past like 2 years, or however long I've been in this troop, which is a very long time. I've never ever left it whatsoever. I've been in it this entire time. And I've got almost 5,000 more than the next guy.
The question was, which event should I start basically using? Either Dominion, Crystal Siege, or Exodon? And my answer is real simple. Dominion, because Dominion's awesome. It's probably the most team-based game out of all of those, including CS, because CS isn't really like as team-based. You need one person to beat down the monster, everybody hits the crystal. And Dominion, you really learn a lot about teamwork in this game and how to communicate effectively with your troop. So if you're to start one, that's one reason. But another reason why that's the answer, in my opinion, is because Dominion is probably out of the three, one of the easier, or I'd say there's more mobs out there to get. There's actually more event monsters available to trade for, which means when you do eventually try to get them on your Zodiac, it's not such a pain in the butt. So if you're wanting to get into an event where it's fun, you can earn a lot of trophies, and it's team-based, Dominion's the one I would recommend.
Yeah, and it's also great because the mobs will constantly be used, and you can constantly get more and more reward mobs with your team that you've already built. Like, I built my team up, and every time Dominion comes around, it's almost like a guaranteed for me to get reward ultras. If not a reward epic, if I was to, like, go really hard and borrow a couple more epics from another troopmate or something, like I've done a couple times. So that can come in helpful, very helpful when you're building more and more different elemental reward teams, or just better reward teams.
Yeah.
To increase your power rating. Because, let's face it, event teams will never have a really good power rating. So, you want to get the rewards to get the higher power rating.
Unless to feel the progression. Those events with the SIVOs.
Yeah. And which may never get used again, which is the mobs that I have on one of my secondary accounts. But I mainly have the supers. I just got a couple ultras, and one of them happens to have a swap. So I don't know. It's on a second account. I'll obviously never do a second evolve on that account, but it has all of my mobs on it, as you can see here.
Right.
As this account here, it's got the 2 ultras and the 3 supers. The 3 supers, those don't have a second evolve, but the 2 ultras are event mobs and they have a second evolve. There's also
that's great.
The event epic from that event also has a second evolve. And I've seen some people have, I think they had 2 epic second evolves and 3 ultra second evolves for this event. So if they ever get used again in Coliseum or something, I definitely want to link up with that person with this account of mine, and because it'd be pretty sick, and it'd be almost a guarantee to be in the top troops.
Oh, you'd be getting your first mythic and legendary at the same time.
I don't know if I'd be able to get a mythic. I highly doubt I'd be able to get a mythic out of it with 3 supers on the team and only 2 ultras. That's for dang sure.
Oh, if there's Sivo though and nobody else is prepared for it, that'd be like the best victory of all time.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, but it's highly unlikely though.
Make like the best YouTube video like the thing ever. It'd be like, oh, I top player using supers, battle camp, whatever the event name is. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, then everybody will just call me a hacker and a cheater and this and that.
Yep.
There's no way that's possible for him to get that high of a rank with super mobs.
Right. That used to be a big misconception for me, though, back in the day. I mean, I remember being new, going, like, what do these E's and R's mean? You know, when you're like through battle camp, BC rank, and you're playing an event, and you're looking at all these people with these astronomical numbers. You know, it's really simple, guys. If you still haven't figured it out, and I know we have some advanced players that watch this channel, too, you know, event monsters are where the trophies are at. In fact, we had a player in our troop actually talking today that kind of had an epiphany. Was like, you know, what's the point of even having reward monsters? All they're good for is, you know, Lost Temple anyway. And the only reason you go to Lost Temple is to be able to perfectly or second evolve them. And so it's kind of silly when you really think about it. But reward mobs are almost kind of like just a status thing, you know, because they're really only used in, like, maybe there's an off event or a raid event that, you know, you don't feel like investing in event mobs to get the multiplier. You have a 600, 800,000 power rating team. You can still get super tier, maybe even ultra tier if maybe you're super effective against the boss. But, you know, there's just
for most part,
difference between event monsters and reward monsters and their use, really.
Yeah, and for most part, they used to be really good for Troop Wars, but now ever since they introduced the pet resurrection, and they were like trying to push people to do more event spins for that event, because you'll then have to constantly kill the pet like 2 or 3 times over during a round. So they were trying to get people to spend more on event spins, so that they would have damage buffs just to kill the pet. But the damage buff doesn't count towards the flag.
Isn't Penny Pop Battle Camp one of the best freaking marketers you've ever met? Like, they've got a product that is so addictive to play, and then they literally just throw these offers at you that are crazy. Like, every single time you log in, every time before you hit.
Yeah, like this one here.
Like the timeshare of video games.
Like, I kind of wish event offers like this popped up before I started spinning like crazy. I mean, I could have been guaranteed an event super and get 5 event spins with specials to evolve them with and get boosters. I mean, these are pretty sweet deals for people that just want to start out playing the game. When I first started playing, it was just basic.
What's $20? I mean, dude,
It was just basic. This is the offers that I had when I started playing.
I could spend $20 on a few coffees with friends, like a few beers. A round of beers is way more than $20.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a ton of that value in this game, I think. I think $20 for all those spins, if they get you event mobs that help you play a game for a long period of time, and you find joy in that and it makes you happy, then money well spent.
Yep. Well, anyways, I think we've rambled on quite a bit here between our 2 videos, so might as well cut it out here.
Yeah, sounds good. I've enjoyed it, man. I've really enjoyed it.
So, hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and thanks for all the questions, and we'll sort out all the rewards for people that gave us the questions for us to answer. And we'll eventually try to start messaging people in-game that they will be receiving one of the 10 supers that I have, and eventually we'll figure out how he's going to give away this Ultra. And I think he's also got an event super in here. A Whisper or something.
At the end of Dominion, if I have 200 subscribers, the R Ultra gets raffled off to the 200 subscribers on my channel. And the Wisbun is actually available between either channel. It's just going to be completely random, and I'm going to do a video giving you guys the instructions, and we'll link it to Fair Bombs as well, so that you guys will have an opportunity to win that monster as well.
All right, cool. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one.